Greetings, how have you been? I am Mr. Creepy. Have you heard of the notorious urban legend of the Slender Man? This urban legend is not just any horror story, as to this day, an increasing number of people claim to have seen him. Some even compete to become his servant through participating in frightening sacrifice rituals. Today, I would like to talk to everyone about the famous American urban legend, the Slender Man. The urban legend known as the Slender Man is a tall and thin figure that's known to wear a black suit. Despite being observed from a distance, it's said that it's impossible to get a clear view of his face as it's devoid of any facial features. It is rumored that once he has set his sights upon you, he will close in with lightning speed, ensnaring you with his arms and legs, rendering escape virtually impossible. The Slender Man primarily targets children, but may also prey on teenagers or adults. He appears in the vicinity of his intended target, observing and continuously monitoring them, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Those under his surveillance may experience symptoms such as headache, nosebleeds, hallucinations, and confusion, commonly referred to as slender sickness. As the victim's health deteriorates, the Slender Man sees his opportunity to attack. There are two possible outcomes for the victim: becoming a servant or becoming sustenance. In many old and new photos, we seem to detect a figure resembling the Slender Man. Perhaps you should examine the photos on your phone that went unnoticed. Who knows, maybe you'll find the silhouette of the Slender Man. On May 31, 2014, a shocking murder case took place in Wisconsin, United States that rocked the entire society. Two 12-year-old girls, Anissa Weier and Morgan Geyser, lured another female classmate, Lieutenant, to a park during a holiday and brutally stabbed her 19 times. Fortunately, Lieutenant was saved by a passerby who was riding a bicycle and discovered her. The reason that stuns everyone was that they did so because they wanted to become the slaves of the Slender Man. They also feared that if they didn't kill the classmate, the Slender Man would harm them and their families. The two girls were charged with first-degree murder, but due to their mental illness, they were eventually confined to a psychiatric hospital. Another incident concerning the Slender Man occurred in 2014 in Ohio, United States, when a 13-year-old girl armed with a knife attacked her mother. The mother recalls that her daughter was usually normal, but was particularly enamored with stories of the Slender Man. Sometimes, she would write stories about him. Unbeknownst to her, the daughter had blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. One day, when the mother returned home from work, she saw her daughter standing motionless in the kitchen of their home. As the mother felt puzzled, her daughter suddenly attacked her with a knife. Fortunately, the mother responded in time and was not injured in any vital organs. After the incident, when the police interrogated the girl, they found that she had no recollection of her actions in attacking her mother. In September of the same year, in Florida, a third incident involving the Slender Man and resulting in harm was reported. A 14-year-old girl set fire to her home while her mother and younger brother were asleep. Similar to the previous case, the girl was a seemingly healthy and normal student, but she committed the arson while under the influence of the Slender Man obsession. Fortunately, her family was saved by the smoke alarm installed in their home. The police found a large number of photos and videos related to the Slender Man on the girl's computer, and she had no memory of the arson.
Leaving her burning home behind, the 14-year-old suspect may have had regrets. Investigators say she texted her mother, "Mom, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did it."
Where does the origin of Slender Man come from and why did it become a well-known urban legend? In 2009, a person named Eric Knudsen, username Victor Surge, uploaded two photos on a forum called Something Awful and first mentioned the creature Slender Man. We can see in the photos a tall humanoid with long arms and tentacle-like appendages behind it. The caption of the first photo reads, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time." 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. The second picture carried the caption, "One of 2 recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze. Notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slender Man. Deformities cited as film defects by officials. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence." 1986, photographer Mary Thomas, missing since June 13, 1986. These 2 photos were accompanied by detailed descriptions of the scenes depicted, lending an air of credibility to the images. Is the urban legend real? No, it's not. That's right, you heard correctly. It's a fabrication. After the stabbing incident, Eric Knudsen clarified that Slender Man was actually a creation of his own, conjured up for a Photoshop contest at the time. The accompanying text to the photos was also a product of his imagination. As the internet evolved, the story and appearance of this creature were continuously modified and expanded. Slender Man gradually became a widely followed urban legend. But he never thought that a fictitious character would attract so much attention, let alone lead to injury or even tragic outcomes. These events reveal the sinister stories that the internet has bred on its own, having far-reaching impacts on teenagers. This highlights the need for parents and educators to pay more attention to their children's online activities and ensure they understand the significance of distinguishing between reality and fantasy. At the same time, it also calls for society to regulate inappropriate content on the internet to safeguard the mental health of minors. In 2018, Sony Pictures Entertainment Incorporated produced a film titled Slender Man. The story is set in a small town in Massachusetts, where children are disappearing one by one. 4 high school students conduct a ritual in an attempt to unravel the mystery of the Slender Man legend. When one of the girls suddenly goes missing, they believe she has become the latest victim of the Slender Man. If you are interested in this urban legend, you can also watch this movie. Although the Slender Man has been proven to be false and fictional, I still believe that when something is widely believed to be real and actually exists, to a certain extent, it is indeed real. Do you believe in the Slender Man? Have you ever seen a similar figure in reality? Feel free to leave a comment below. See you next time.